Hello, fans of DX Engineering. It's time for Tuesdays with Tim and Jeff. I'm Tim, K3LR, and with me today is a very special guest. It's Michael Kalter, W8CI, and Michael is the spokesperson for the Hamvention. And we're going to talk about Hamvention 2020 today. We're inside the Summit Racing Superstore here in Talmadge, Ohio. That's where you'll find the DX Engineering showroom. And of course, behind the showroom are tens of thousands of parts that we have in stock here, ready for immediate shipment. But let's get to the main topic, Michael, and that is about Hamvention 2020. And you have with you the long-awaited award winners for this year's Hamvention.
Well, I don't have them all with me, but I have the names.
You have the names. You have the information.
Yeah.
And
first off, I want to thank you and the DX Engineering team for allowing us to partner with you and to officially put this out. And I enjoy doing this every year, and I want to give some credit to the fine woman behind the camera there, Katie, and she put this whole thing together. So with that, I want to go ahead and start with talking about our 4 awards. The first award we're going to talk about is our Club of the Year award, and we all know how important clubs are in amateur radio. There's a lot of singular things, but singular events are they're important, but club events really make things happen, don't you think?
well, I think, Michael, you hit the nail on the head, because clubs are the real backbone of the hobby. I know when I got started, it was the local club that really helped me, answered a lot of questions. There were resources there, there were fun times, field day, going to Hamfest, and it's all about the clubs. And I know there are 2,400 affiliated ARL clubs in the United States, and it's so important to the hobby, to the health of the hobby, that clubs remain strong.
It's another strong pillar of amateur radio, and these are the people that are bringing in and finding interest for all different segments of amateur radio.
And it's got to be a really hard thing for you and your committee to kind of figure out what club is deserving of this prestigious award every year.
It is really hard, and we put together a matrix and look at several different things. I will tell you that we do look at your web page. We want to see how active you are. Lots of pictures. Of course, people fill out the applications, and we go through all of that. And one of the guys, he kind of always looks to see if Hamvention's mentioned on the calendar. But at any rate, that's neither plus or minus points. It's just something that they like to do. But let's move on here. Let me tell you, the winner of this year's Club of the Year is the South Canadian Amateur Radio Society. They call themselves SCARS. Now, it's a little bit misleading. They are an ARL Special Service Club, but what's misleading, they are based in the Cleveland County, Oklahoma area. And so the name references the south end of the Canadian River that runs west of town. They were formed in 1977, and they have been working hard to grow and support the amateur radio operators in the area. They have a YouTube channel, Facebook presence, a weekly newsletter. That's pretty big. And their reach is expanded to thousands of hams monthly, just from their local area to all around the globe. Actually, the amateur radio community is active and growing in Oklahoma, and they're based in the center of Tornado Alley. And me being from Xenia, Ohio, where Hamvention is, and we have had a lot of issues with tornadoes. Just even this year, we had a tornado come through and actually destroyed what was left of Hera Arena, and then marched right into Greene County, just north of the fairgrounds. The current fairgrounds are in such good shape right now because they were destroyed back in, was it 90, maybe 1990 or so. Tornado came right through and wiped out the fairgrounds. So we're well aware of the importance of tornadoes. And they work right in the shadow of the National Weather Center, and they take emergency communications very seriously. They have, get this, Tim, they have Skywarn training and weekly Aries nets that allow hams in the central Oklahoma area to practice their skills before the next big tornado runs through. And the emergency managers of Norman, Moore, and Cleveland County are hams and are members of the club. So they've got the participation of their government members, and that means a lot to me. They have weekly nets on 2 meters, 6 meters, 10 meters, UHF, and DMR to let members communicate with each other on the air. And each Saturday, imagine this, every Saturday the group holds a siren net where hams monitor over 100 sirens in 4 different towns, just to be sure they're all working. They have license testing. They do a lot of great things, and a couple other things that I want to mention. They manage their stations all over town, at libraries, at the National Weather Service, and the Emergency Operations Center for the city and county, and the Norman Red Cross. They participate in many activities outside of their emergency services. So, congratulations to the South Canadian Amateur Radio Society of Cleveland County, Oklahoma. That sounded like a
nice job.
Club.
Yeah, great club, and looking forward to seeing the members of SCARS at Hamvention this year.
I hope that they're there too. So,
yes.
Pretty exciting.
Now, the next award, and I mean all of these awards are very special, but the next award is your Special Achievement Award,
right?
For 2020, and again, I'm sure you get a whole host of qualified candidates for this award, and it's a very difficult decision.
Yeah, you're right on that count. And this particular individual I've never seen so many nominations come in for one person. Mm-hmm. And we were checking with some of the nominees, and we didn't know anybody else was nominating him. And it seemed very sincere to me, but still, it's not the number of nominations you get. It's the quality, the quantity of the work that makes the achievement, and how does it affect other amateur radio operators. So this year's Special Achievement winner is Jordan Scherer, KN4CRD. That's KN4CRD. He's actually an experienced software engineer by day and digital amateur radio operator by night. He was only licensed in 1917, but he started his journey into ham radio exploring PSK 31, JT65, and soon after FT8. And he was fascinated by the ability to connect with others using low power. So Jordan set out to experiment with developing a protocol for weak signal mesh networking and communication. After many hours of programming while holding his newborn daughter, what resulted was JS8 Call. So JS8 Call is an open source free platform inspired by WSJT-X and FLIGI that allows amateur radio operators the ability for keyboard to keyboard, store and forward, and network relay-based communications. So it's been used by thousands of operators now, and it's really becoming a new and upcoming mode. So it's great in weak signal conditions.
But that's outstanding. Here's somebody who's just been licensed maybe 3 years, maybe not even, maybe just a little over 2 years, and has already giving back to the hobby. Open source, free software, and changing the complexion of amateur radio.
Absolutely. And if you want to find out more about Jordan and all these winners, you'll be able to see them on our website as well as in this production as well.
Okay. So the next award speaks to another opportunity to showcase giving back to the hobby, the Technical Achievement Award, Michael.
That's right. The Technical Achievement Award this year goes to 3 gentlemen that had worked together, and that is Steve Frank, K9AN, Bill Somerville, G4WJS, and Joe Taylor, K1JT. Steve, Bill, and Joe have been licensed radio amateurs for a combined total of 154 years. That's pretty far back. Over the past 7 years, they've worked closely together on all aspects of the ham radio software package WSJT-X, and in particular the digital protocol FT8 and its younger brother FT4. FT8 was introduced in July 2017, soon accounting for a large fraction of all ham radio activity on the HF bands. FT4 is a closely related mode designed especially for digital contesting. And I want to mention Steve Frank. He was first licensed in '71, and he is a professor of electrical and computer engineering at the University of Illinois, and where he has recently retired. Bill Somerville, G4WJS, earned a chemistry degree at the University of Bristol and has worked in computer software and hardware in a variety of industries. And Joe Taylor, K1JT, is a professor of physics emeritus at Princeton University, and he was awarded the Nobel Prize in Physics in 1993 for discovery of the first orbiting pulsar. You know, let's talk about FT8 a minute. You know, you and I were just on looking at 30 meters while we were waiting to get this start, and what's the only thing we could hear?
FT8. Yep. You'd think the band was dead except for FT8. And what a game changer that has been during this period of low sunspot activity, to have a mode like FT8 where guys and girls with simple stations can work much further than they could before. And we find a lot of youth that are interested in FT8.
Absolutely.
And it also is an entry mode. Once you get your feet wet with FT8, then maybe you get active with DMR or D-Star or sideband, CW. So that's a tremendous group, and how cool it has been to watch the development. We're alive during the development of a new mode, and it's free.
Well, the exciting thing is, you know, with the latest SDR radios and the major breakthroughs in radios, to me, it's like we're at a whole new age of amateur radio now. I mean, it's amped up a considerable amount.
Oh, it is the talk, and you look at the number of QSOs that are going on a weekly, monthly basis. FT8 is the real workhorse here.
Yeah.
So, Michael, now it's time to talk about the 2020 Amateur of the Year.
Yeah, we are pleased to give this gentleman the Amateur Radio of the Year award, Yasuo Zoro Miyazawa. And I apologize, I didn't pronounce it very well. We all know him as Zorro, and his call is JH1AJT. And he, in 1964, when Zorro obtained his first JA license for ham radio, he was 15 years old. Then in '66, he obtained a JA station license at age 16. As a high school student, he didn't own good equipment, but he enjoyed operation with radios, antennas, handmade by himself. At that time, there were not many operators on 10 meters, and many foreign de-expeditioners called Zorro every day. This experience led him to the world of DX and his international humanitarian activities as well. Since that time, Zorro's contacted many countries all over the world and developed not only a large number of QSOs, but also the friendship with operators of each country. In the DXCC world ranking, he has been #1 on 10-meter band. Around 1980, he started to lead groups and tried difficult expeditions and achieved many successes. And in 2015, he was inducted into the DX Hall of Fame. I think, though, that one of the most distinctive features of his DXpeditions is that not only did he focus on radio operations, but he cooperated with local people and implemented humanitarian activities needed in the community. He has taken that to such high levels. In 2010, he established the Foundation for Global Children. He created new learning environments for children since 1972, when he set up a cram school with only 2 students. He has revolutionized the education in Japan through creating the first learning systems for children who had difficulties in ordinary schools because of their having dyslexia, developmental disabilities, and so on. He founded the CISA group, and now he has more than 40,000 people who are studying in that field to try to help people with special needs. You know, he also in the Foundation for Global Children that he established in 2010, and he's been supporting youth in Africa and Asia and many areas of the world. So he has won many, many awards for that. And I'll mention just one more that I thought was very interesting here. In Bhutan, he had a friendly relationship with the royal family for more than 25 years. And in 2019, he was appointed as the honorary advisor to the president of Bhutan's Olympic Committee, working together on social reform. And through those activities, Zoro was awarded the Japanese Foreign Minister's Commendation in 2018. And one thing he always says, and you'll see it on his QRZ site, regardless of whether it's big or small, I'm just doing what I can. And to him, the children matter. I do want to mention that his favorite mode of operation is FT8.
Well, it seems very fitting, and of course, Zoro has been a great ambassador for our hobby, not only in Japan, but around the world, and looking forward to seeing him come back to Hamvention this year. And great work by your committee and all of the Hamvention volunteers.
Thank you. That's exactly what it is. We have so many volunteers, 700 plus volunteers. I'm a volunteer. Just trying to do my volunteer job. So we're excited about Hamvention coming up too, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, it's that time of the year where we're selling tickets here for Hamvention at DX Engineering. People are starting to talk about it. I know you've got some new things this year with the new product showcase.
Right.
And you're going to continue on with the Free Sunday
Sunday, yeah, that's going to happen. And that's important because you look where Xenia is, and 90 minutes from Xenia, it's a huge population. And if you think about people that might be interested, well, I was kind of interested, something I did when I was younger, or a younger person going, I want to find out what this is about, I want to come. So, and bring my parents along. You never know, but we have established that, and we're going to go with it. We're continuing. The demand for booth space is huge this year. We've got a waiting list of vendors that we're trying to accommodate everybody the very best we can. So it's shaping up to be a really good event.
It's going to be great. And of course, DX Engineering will be celebrating our 20th anniversary.
Congratulations.
During Hamvention this year as well. Well, Michael, thanks very much for coming on, and very excited about all the award winners. And we'll look forward to seeing everybody at Hamvention. 73 from DX Engineering.
73 from Hamvention.